tell black secrets. I tell white secrets too, because we all family. They don't lie to some of us, they lie to all.
Big deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them.
Katt Williams never bites his tongue. And that's exactly why Hollywood can't stand him. From the early 2000s comedy stages to explosive viral interviews, he's built more than a career. He's built a legacy as Hollywood's loudest truth-teller. His name doesn't just ring out in stand-up circles, it echoes through every corner of the industry like a warning bell. Katt wasn't just cracking jokes. He was cracking the code on how Hollywood really works. From his fiery run-ins with power players like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Kevin Hart, he's turned every confrontation into a moment of exposure. These weren't just celebrity beefs. They were cultural shockwaves that left people arguing for weeks. But where did this all start? When Katt first hit the scene, fans were instantly drawn to that razor-sharp wit and wild confidence. His flashy suits, slick hair, and electrifying stage presence made him unforgettable. But it was his raw honesty that really set him apart. While most comedians were busy chasing movie deals and cozying up to executives, Katt was already peeling back the layers, showing the world the darker side of fame. By the mid-2000s, his reputation had outgrown the stage. He wasn't just a comedian anymore, he was a whistleblower with a mic. Williams flat out accused Hollywood of exploiting black talent, claiming the industry only rewards obedience while punishing independence. He said there were secret gatekeepers controlling who shines and who gets silenced, running everything through shady deals and favoritism. Every time he grabbed a mic, his punchlines came with truth bombs. Fans laughed. But the real ones knew he wasn't just being funny. He was warning people about how deep the corruption ran. And the media? Oh, they didn't know what to do with him.
Have a conversation that's not being had. And I'm really sorry that these conversations are being had by a comedian. I wish, too, that it was a religious leader of some kind having this conversation, or somebody's politician talking about this.
Some tried to dismiss him, others tried to label him crazy, but Katt Williams had already made it clear. He wasn't afraid to speak the truth, no matter who it exposed. Instead of facing his claims head-on, the media flipped the script and painted Katt Williams like he was losing it. Headlines called him unstable, difficult, even dangerous. Shows like Saturday Night Live mocked him on national TV, copying his look, his voice, and his wild energy like it was all a joke. But to Katt, none of that was funny. Not one bit. He saw those skits as strategic takedowns, calculated moves to make him look crazy while burying the truths he was spilling about Hollywood's dark side. Then came the drama with other big names, and things really got heated. Williams accused Steve Harvey of jacking jokes from comedian Mark Curry, setting off a wildfire in comedy circles. He said Harvey wasn't about originality. He was about control, image, and money. According to Katt, Steve was guarding his TV throne instead of defending real artistry. The streets were split. Some thought Katt went too far, but others said he finally said what everyone else was too scared to admit. That's what made Katt different. He didn't care about making enemies. He cared about telling the truth.
He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man.
While the industry called him reckless, his fans called him fearless. He stood on principle, even when it cost him opportunities. To him, it wasn't just about jokes. It was about integrity, about protecting comedy from fake smiles and corporate puppets. By the late 2000s, Katt Williams wasn't just another stand-up comic. He was a cultural lightning rod. Half entertainer, half whistleblower, and all heart. Hollywood might have tried to box him in, but he kept using that same spotlight to call out every hidden game being played behind the scenes. And the more he talked, the clearer it became. This wasn't just noise. This was the beginning of a full-blown storm shaking the entire industry. Katt Williams' whistleblower status hit a whole new level when he started naming names. And not just any names. He went after some of the biggest power players in the entire industry. These weren't small-time spats. They were straight-up battles with icons like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Kevin Hart. Each clash peeled back another layer of how Katt saw the system. one built to protect a privileged few while pushing everyone else to the sidelines. The situation with Oprah left fans stunned. Katt flat out accused her of trying to blacklist rapper 50 Cent, saying she used her massive influence to silence artists she didn't approve of. He claimed Oprah wasn't just a talk show queen. She was part of a Hollywood machine deciding who gets to shine and who gets shut down. According to him, her power stretched way beyond daytime TV. It reached deep into music, film, and culture itself. Now, nobody ever confirmed those claims, but Katt's timing made people listen. He wasn't just ranting, he was connecting dots that had fans talking non-stop. The internet blew up with debates. Was Katt really exposing the truth behind the curtain? Or was he poking the bear just to make a point? Either way, his words shook things up big time. Then came his feud with Tyler Perry, and Katt didn't pull a single punch. He blasted Perry's casting choices and the way he ran his productions, accusing him of playing favorites and freezing out actors who refused to play the game.
Martin tried to put me in my first dress. You know, we get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's house too. I almost died. All I did was say, I want to punch it up so it's not offensive to real.
To Katt, it wasn't just about business. It was about fairness and integrity. He called out the fake smiles and backroom deals, saying Hollywood rewarded obedience over real talent. And whether people agreed or not, everyone knew one thing. Katt Williams was fearless, and he wasn't backing down for anybody. During a joint sit-down with actor Terrence Howard, Katt Williams didn't hold anything back. He straight up accused Tyler Perry of being insecure and purposely keeping other black actors beneath him just to protect his own spotlight. Fans fired back, reminding everyone that Perry had opened doors for plenty of people. But Katt stood firm. He said that whatever success Perry had created came with too high a price, that Hollywood's integrity was being traded for control. His words hit deep, and suddenly the conversation about power in Black Hollywood wasn't so easy to laugh off anymore. But it was his long-running feud with Kevin Hart that refused to fade away. Katt claimed Hart snatched movie roles that were meant for him, saying Hollywood handpicked Kevin to be their safe version of black comedy, polished, predictable, and non-threatening. According to Katt, Kevin's rise wasn't built on raw grind or pure talent, it was manufactured. He said the system pushed Hart forward because he wouldn't question it, while more outspoken voices were quietly pushed aside. When Kevin finally responded, he played it cool, brushing off Katt's shots like they were just part of the show. In interviews, he said he had nothing to prove, that he was proud of his success and didn't need to go back and forth. To Kevin, it was all noise. But to Katt, that calm reaction was proof of how deep the machine ran. He saw it as confirmation that the industry rewards silence and punishes truth-telling. Every one of these feuds painted the same picture. Katt Williams versus the establishment. Oprah allegedly pulling strings behind the scenes, Perry guarding his empire, and Hart playing the role of the friendly gatekeeper. Through it all, Katt stood alone, convinced he was the only one brave enough to call out Hollywood's hidden power games, and the louder he spoke, the more the system tried to quiet him.
Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us.
Every Halloween, I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box.
The more Katt Williams spoke out, the more Hollywood started to panic. Nobody knew what bombshell he'd drop next. And if there was ever proof that Katt wasn't afraid of confrontation, it came through his fiery clashes with comedy legends Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. These weren't just random disputes. These were public battles against two of the most respected names in the game. Both men were loved for their roles in the original Kings of Comedy and their hit shows, but in Katt's eyes, they were symbols of everything fake about the industry. He accused them of playing the game too safely, taking shortcuts, recycling jokes, and selling the world an image that wasn't real. Williams straight up called Steve Harvey out for stealing jokes, not only from him, but from comedian Mark Curry, too. He said Steve built his whole from the struggle to success story on exaggerations, that the hard knock past he always talked about was more fiction than fact. To Katt, that was straight up fraud, faking struggle just to build sympathy and sell credibility. Fans jumped into the mix, and social media lit up with debates. Some backed Katt completely, saying Harvey's style always felt borrowed, while others defended Steve, saying Katt was just stirring drama. One online thread even repeated Katt's exact words, calling Harvey's act manufactured hustle. But for Katt, it wasn't about hate, it was about truth. He believed comedy should come from real experience, not from made-up stories and stolen punchlines. Then things got personal. Katt claimed both Steve and Cedric had privately admitted to stealing material and even apologized behind closed doors, but never dared to do it publicly. That's when the tension exploded.
For the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay.
In our industry, who pays you is who tells you what narrative you're allowed to use. And I'm not paid, so I own my narrative. That is what makes my opinion valuable at all.
Cedric clapped back fast, denying everything and saying Katt should have spoken up years ago if it was that serious. But Katt wasn't backing down. He said one of his best jokes ended up in the 2000 hit The Original Kings of Comedy, and that Cedric knew it. For Katt, this wasn't just about ego. It was about principle. To him, they were living proof that Hollywood rewards imitation over integrity, and he wasn't afraid to expose it loud and clear. To Cedric, the whole situation was old news, something not even worth revisiting. But his denial did the exact opposite. It reignited the fire. Suddenly, Katt Williams was back in every headline and podcast, doubling down on his accusations with even more intensity. He refused to let it slide, not because of ego, but because of principle. For Katt, this wasn't just about one stolen joke, it was about respect. He believed Harvey and Cedric represented a much bigger problem. The system's habit of letting established stars profit off the creativity of others while pretending to be untouchable legends. Katt saw it as a betrayal of the art form itself. To him, real comedy came from struggle, truth, and originality, not from carefully scripted brands polished for Hollywood approval. Steve Harvey tried to play it cool by staying silent, never responding publicly. Some people said that was smart, refusing to feed into the drama. But others thought that silence spoke volumes. They said Harvey didn't want to poke at something that could unravel his clean-cut image, especially when Katt's claims already had people talking. Either way, that silence only fueled more suspicion, and the feud took on a life of its own. The battle between Katt, Steve, and Cedric became one of the most talked about conflicts in modern comedy. It stopped being about jokes, it turned into a conversation about credibility, power, and legacy. Katt made it clear he wasn't bowing down to anyone, even comedy royalty. He was willing to risk his career, his relationships, and his peace of mind just to speak his truth. By the time the dust finally settled, Katt Williams wasn't just a controversial comedian.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us.
Every Halloween, I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box.
He was Hollywood's loudest whistleblower. Whether people believed every word or not didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that Katt stood fearless, calling out anyone hiding behind a fake smile or a big title. His name became synonymous with unpredictability and danger, especially to anyone trying to guard their perfect image. And that's when another heavyweight entered the mix, Dave Chappelle. Both Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle were seen as rebels, two geniuses who refused to bow down to Hollywood's rules. But their connection was anything but simple. Some days, Katt praised Chappelle like a true hero, and other times he questioned whether Dave's most legendary move, walking away from that $50 million Comedy Central deal back in 2005, was as heroic as everyone claimed. The tension between admiration and suspicion made their relationship one of the most fascinating storylines in modern comedy. In a 2024 interview on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast, Katt opened up about it directly. He said, "I respect him for walking away from the money." Katt explained that the entertainment industry's pressure can crush even the strongest minds, and that walking away from a deal that massive took real courage. He called it a power move that most comedians would never have the guts to make. For a moment, fans thought this was Katt extending a genuine olive branch, finally giving props to another comedian who had fought his own war against the machine. But as always, Katt's story had another layer. In other interviews, he hinted that Chappelle's exit might not have been entirely voluntary, that maybe there were bigger forces behind it. He suggested that industry power players could have pushed Dave out because he refused to conform to Hollywood's silent rules. Those hints sent fans into a frenzy, sparking heated online debates. Was Chappelle's departure a brave act of integrity, or a quiet exile disguised as choice? Katt's words made people question everything they thought they knew about that moment. Some fans sided with his suspicions, saying it made sense given how shady Hollywood can be, while others defended Chappelle's move as pure defiance, a statement of power and self-respect. Either way, one thing was undeniable. Katt had once again turned the spotlight onto the cracks in Hollywood's perfect storylines, and people couldn't stop watching. Dave Chappelle finally fired back in 2024. But in classic Chappelle style, he did it smooth and subtle. During a live set at the Hollywood Improv, he addressed Katt Williams without saying his name directly, dropping a line that made the whole room buzz. He said, "He only eats his own. He didn't say nothing about any of these white boys." The crowd went quiet for a moment, realizing exactly who he meant. Chappelle's message was crystal clear. He felt Katt was spending too much time taking shots at other black comedians instead of turning his fire on the real problem, the industry itself. "We're comedian. We don't attack each other," Chappelle added, his tone half warning, half wisdom. He was all about unity, trying to remind everyone that the fight wasn't between them. It was against the bigger system that controlled them all. That moment showed just how layered their relationship really was. Both men were truth-tellers, both fearless critics of Hollywood, but their methods were completely different. Katt believed in calling people out by name, holding them personally accountable, even if it meant shaking the table. He saw that as the only way to break through the fake smiles and politics. But Chappelle's philosophy was broader. He wanted to aim at the structures, not the soldiers. To him, unity among comedians was the only way to stand strong against corporate power. Despite the tension, the irony was hard to miss. Both men were fighting the same war from different angles. Chappelle's 2021 Netflix special, The Closer, sparked worldwide debate about censorship and creative freedom, while Katt used his Heaven on Earth tour to blast the industry's lies, manipulation, and exploitation. Even when they clashed, their message hit the same nerve. Hollywood isn't what it pretends to be, and whether you were laughing or uncomfortable, both men made sure you felt the truth behind the curtain. In many ways, Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle were two sides of the same coin, both fearless, but with completely different weapons. Katt came at Hollywood head-on, loud and unfiltered, while Chappelle's style was smooth, strategic, and razor-sharp beneath the calm.
Just wanted to address a few things. Everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. First of all, I just want to...
Whether they were allies or rivals, their voices together made it impossible for Hollywood to ignore the truth they were exposing. But Katt's whistleblower image wasn't just about calling out other stars. It was about how he carried himself behind the camera, too. He stood firm when it came to integrity, even if it meant risking his spot in major productions. One of the clearest examples came during the filming of Friday After Next in 2002, the third movie in the legendary Friday series. Katt's character, the unforgettable Money Mike, was a fan favorite, sharp, flashy, and hilarious. But behind all the laughs, a serious battle was brewing. According to Katt, the original script included a disturbing scene where his character would be sexually assaulted. He immediately shut it down, saying the idea wasn't just tasteless, it was wrong. He told producers straight up that the scene crossed a moral line and had no place in a comedy built on clever humor and cultural flavor. Williams pushed back so hard that the scene was completely scrapped from the final cut. And when fans eventually learned what had really gone down, they praised him for standing his ground. He could have stayed quiet and gone along with it like most actors would have, but he refused. For Katt, comedy was supposed to make people laugh, not make them uncomfortable in the worst way. That move didn't just protect the film's tone. It solidified his reputation as a man who'd rather risk his career than compromise his values. For Katt Williams, this wasn't some small behind-the-scenes detail. It was a statement of who he really was. That moment proved he valued ethics over entertainment, showing the world that even as a newcomer in a major franchise, he refused to trade his morals for a paycheck. He didn't care about climbing ladders or pleasing producers. He cared about standing tall. Years later, when fans found out what really happened, They saw it as undeniable proof of his authenticity. Here was a man who put principle over popularity, even when silence would have been the easy route. That's what made Katt different. He wasn't scared to lose work if it meant keeping his soul intact. And that same integrity spilled far beyond the movie set. In countless interviews, Williams spoke openly about cancel culture, but not in the way most celebrities did. He said the whole concept was twisted, that cancel culture didn't really punish the powerful. It targeted the marginalized. He argued that the real shot callers at the top of the entertainment food chain stayed untouched while smaller voices got dragged through the mud. To him, that was just another example of misplaced blame, the system protecting its own while pretending to stand for justice. While other stars rushed to issue apologies or disappear from the spotlight, Katt did the opposite. He doubled down. He kept speaking his truth, loud and unfiltered, no matter who it rattled. Because for him, comedy wasn't just about laughs, it was about honesty, and honesty didn't come with a safety net. Every joke, every interview, every headline, it all carried the same message. He would rather be controversial than fake. That theme of integrity burned through his Heaven on Earth comedy tour, where Katt mixed outrageous humor with raw truth about how Hollywood really operates. He joked about exploitation, called out media lies, and tore down the illusion of authenticity that most stars tried to sell. He wasn't afraid to expose how the industry used people up and tossed them aside when they stopped playing along. Through it all, one thing stayed consistent. Katt Williams refused to let Hollywood define his morals or his message. Whether cutting a scene in Friday After Next or standing against cancel culture itself, he made it clear his voice would always belong to him. When controversy came knocking, Katt Williams stood his ground like no one else. In an industry built on compromise and silence, he drew a hard line, a line few comedians ever dare to cross. He made it clear that no deal, no paycheck, and no headline was worth his voice being controlled. That fearless stance turned him into something far bigger than just a comic. He became the truth teller Hollywood couldn't tame. By the time the 2020s hit, Katt's reputation was legendary and dangerous. He wasn't just known for his wild stage presence anymore. He was the man unafraid to say what everyone else whispered about in private. Fans admired his courage, but Hollywood elites? They were terrified. Katt had built a list of enemies that stretched across every corner of the industry. And because he never backed down, no one ever knew what bombshell he might drop next. Even Kevin Hart couldn't escape the shadow of that tension. Their long-running feud had already become comedy folklore. But when Eddie Murphy, one of the greatest ever, commented on it, people really started paying attention. Eddie hinted that Kevin had good reason to stay cautious around Katt, and fans ran with it. Some said it was Eddie's polite way of warning Kevin that Williams wasn't the kind of man you wanted to underestimate. The contrast between them said it all. Kevin Hart represented the clean, family-friendly, Hollywood-approved success story, while Katt embodied the unfiltered, unpredictable truth that made executives nervous. Every time Katt said Kevin's name, the internet lit up because people knew this wasn't just about jokes, it was about control. And Katt's impact didn't stop there. Ice Cube, a legend in both film and hip-hop, even acknowledged how powerful Williams' presence had become. Then came whispers about Oprah Winfrey herself. When old clips resurfaced, showing Oprah avoiding any direct response to Katt's accusations, fans took it as proof. Even one of the most influential women in the world didn't want to get in the ring with him. Soon the speculation spread like wildfire. Names like Marlon Wayans and Taraji P. Henson started popping up in online debates, with fans claiming they kept their distance on purpose. The theory? Simple. They didn't want to end up as Katt's next target. Because once Katt Williams started talking, no one was safe from the truth he was ready to spill. It's never been confirmed, but one viral post summed it up perfectly. Hollywood's biggest names don't want smoke with Katt. And honestly, who could blame them? Williams already proved that no name was too powerful, no empire too untouchable. He spoke on things most comedians wouldn't even think about mentioning, and that fearlessness earned him both loyal fans and dangerous enemies. But behind all the laughs and fire, tragedy followed close behind. In August 2025, shocking news hit the headlines. Reggie Carroll, a comedian from Katt's Heaven on Earth tour, was fatally shot. Reports identified the suspect as Trell Marcus Williams, a security guard who had been working for Katt at the time. The incident sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, instantly casting a dark shadow over the tour that had been celebrating truth and freedom through comedy. Fans were devastated. Some said the tragedy showed just how chaotic life could get around Katt, that being in his orbit meant living on the edge. Others pointed out how the media seemed to twist the story, focusing more on scandal than on compassion or loss. It was like the world couldn't separate Katt's pain from his controversy. Everything he touched became bigger than life itself. Still, even through the grief, Williams didn't slow down. He kept his message alive, louder than ever. He called 2024 the Age of Truth, telling his supporters that it was time to look past the glitz, the red carpets, and the carefully edited interviews. He said people needed to open their eyes and question what really went on behind Hollywood's curtains. For his fans, that sealed it. Katt wasn't just a comedian anymore. He was a whistleblower, a truth soldier, exposing the corruption, manipulation, and dishonesty that shaped the very heart of the industry. Today, Katt Williams stands as one of the most polarizing voices in entertainment. Loved for his unfiltered honesty, feared for his sharp tongue, and respected for never backing down. He walks that rare line between legend and lightning rod, where every word he speaks shakes something loose in Hollywood's carefully built image. Whether you see him as dangerous or revolutionary, one thing's for sure. If Katt Williams decides to say your name, the whole world will be listening. If you made it this far, make sure to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more wild stories just like this. Until next time.